But if you want my advice, buy another Subaru. It's been good to us.
Sure, Dad.
This is a super rare, one of only 14 Subaru XT Turbos in the UK. Now, there's only one of those on the road currently in the UK, 13 of those currently being sold, this being one of them, which is exactly why it's here, for its restoration, but it's not going to be any normal restoration. We're going to town with this one. So first thing we're going to do today is have a good look at it, have a good inspection of it, see hopefully how rot-free it is, but we're going to get into that. Going to get this engine running, hopefully. Check all the electrics, have a good look at the interior. So we'll have a good look at that. This is 1.8 turbo, 134 brake horsepower, switchable four-wheel drive, got pop-up headlights, single wiper conversion. It's really quirky on the interior. It's such a cool car. It's got height adjustable suspension. It's come here for its full restoration, full acid dip restoration. So we're going to town with this thing. The plan at the moment is to go full roll cage, black paint, air suspension, custom wheels, big brakes, 500 or 600 brake horsepower engine, all-wheel drive. So yeah, we're gonna have a lot of fun with this one. It's gonna get very interesting very soon. But first up, let's try and get this thing started and check all the electrics out. Oh, is it gonna go? Is it gonna go? Oh, I bet that. Literally first time, I did not expect that. And it puts it out, but that's a loud fuel pump. I did not expect that, literally straight on the button. And it's idling. Sweet, that's all right, isn't it? I did not expect that. Right, so if, like me, you've never actually heard of a Subaru XT before, and no, I hadn't. I'd literally never even heard of the car until the owner got in touch a couple of years ago now. So it's a pretty cool, interesting car. Now, Subaru, this was their first take at building a sports car to compete with the likes of Toyota with the MR2 and also the Datsun 240Z at the time. Right, so the Subaru XT shares so many similarities with the Leone. Now, the Subaru Leone, yeah, I'd never heard of one of those either, but that was their first ever rally car. Now, probably like me, I always thought the Impreza was their first rally car, but no, it was the Subaru Leone. Having competed first, as far as we know, in 1980 in a desert rally stage. So physically, the cars look really, really similar. Front and back are slightly different, but mechanically, the two cars, I believe all the parts are virtually interchangeable. Now, the Subaru XT is slightly longer on the front than the Leone. The front end is quite a bit different, which is brilliant for us because we've got more space at the front for front-mounted intercoolers, but also the engines as well. Now, if you look at this engine, it's a 1.8 turbo. Now, you look at it straight away and it looks like a Subaru engine. It looks like the Impreza engine, which is brilliant as well because what we want to do is put the 2-litre turbo in there. Now, the space in there, we know the space is going to fit and it looks almost identical. Right, so got me a cup of tea because it's freezing. Next thing to do, I've just swapped the battery out because the battery was absolutely dead. So, yeah. So we've got the charger and an old battery I've just got lying around the place. So we've just got to see what electrics work and that'll be... You know what? That sounds like a compressor for the air suspension. I was thinking that was a noisy fuel pump before, but I bet that isn't. So, height control, there's not enough. What's going on? Relays clicking. All right, so Windows, well, that one works, that's cool. That one works very slowly. Now that probably just needs adjustment, but also it doesn't help that the battery Doesn't have much charge in it yet. So, lights we know work. We got, oh, that's the flashes then, isn't it? Off. We don't have enough electric in the battery yet. Oh, the lights have just gone down. Everything's clicking at me. Right. Oh, it works really slow. It's so slow. Turn those off. Will it stop? Come on, stop. They're not stopping. Why aren't they stopping? Literally, they stopped before. It won't stop now. That's the problem. And suspension height, I don't know how to use that, but the button's pushed. Hey, there's the fan switch. Fans work, that's good. That literally just won't stop. Oh, okay. No, it's still not doing it. Is that just going to do it a couple of times now? Oh, mate, stop it. Well, that's an issue, isn't it? So if you're driving down the road, you want to turn your wobs off, you actually have to turn your engine off and then it stops. That's good. Oh, that's the intermittent. Okay, that's so weird, man. That's an intermittent. That's the intermittent speed. So this interior is wild. I've never seen nothing like this. I mean, that steering wheel, and it's based around the aviation, and they got their ideas from the aviation side of Subaru. They're in another company. Can't think of the name of it. I didn't even know Subaru made airplanes. But yeah, it's like a fighter jet gear stick. You know, weird. I don't think they've ever made airplanes with steering wheels like this. But that's as quirky as you like. All these binnacles as well. Now, I don't think this works properly. No, that's not working properly. But it's a really cool design that, well, you pull that and it's meant to go up and down and lock in place. So we'll have to have a look at that. 'So underneath all looks to be covered in stone chip, which looks like it's been on there for years, which is a good thing because it protects everything. But here I can see it's been a bit smoother, it's been brushed on, so you just tell that's had some welding work underneath there. How well that's been done, I don't know until all that is off. And this is the problem when you get in cars acid dip, they might look like really good, but then you get from acid dip and all that protection, and there might be tons of filler work underneath there that someone's done a really good job of. And that's just hiding holes. We've had it before, you know, so fingers crossed it looks good. But then you look at this side, and this side you can see a welding seam. And a lot of the time people just do MOT or standard welding just to keep the cars on the road, and it's not up to the quality that we want. So half the time you're cutting all of this out to then remake it, and you're cutting out old repairs, which takes even longer than it would have been if it was they hadn't touched it in the first place, you know, and you've got the shape of the original panel, which has been lost half the time because people just shove plates over that and stick weld it on, you know, years ago. You've got another plate on the inside there as well. I mean, you got to expect to find something on a car this age. I don't know how many miles it's done actually. I'll have to have a look at that. It still has been crushed. That can be brought back down. That all needs bringing back down. But it's just thick under the seal. It's hard to see exactly what's going on, but you know, some of these little bits are obvious. You just don't know what horrors hide underneath that, and then underneath brackets as well. Once all this is taken apart, generally, you know, they're water traps, brackets like that, so hopefully there's not rot underneath there. So it's obvious this is blown out here, blown out with rust, and that lip there is really thin. It's actually gone through there. So bare minimum, we'll have to cut a piece, probably the whole length actually, put that whole piece in. Strange floorboard actually, it's just very flat. Generally you got ribs and things on most cars, but it's thick with undersill though. I don't want to scrape all this off. So yeah, it looks like we'll have to put a section in across the back. It's also had inner sills, repairs at least as well. Just see how smooth it is, and see all this weld, bobby weld that's not been finished nicely across the bottom there, around here. So that's gonna show up. If it's been done well enough, you can You can make it look pretty afterwards, but generally half the time you're cutting all that out and doing it properly, which is a big repair. If you've got to weld the full length of there, obviously that could be spot welded to the inner seal, but taking all that out, just time consuming. All that has been pushed in with people jacking up, normally with little small jacks that you get, little 2-ton trolley jacks. They put it in the wrong place and it just pushes all this in. So this section we'll probably have to cut out or drill spot welds out if we can get to them afterwards. Take that section out, panel beat it flat again, weld it back up. I had to do that with my own car and a few cars in the past. That has also been pushed up there. It looks like it's been scraped on something actually. So because that long line there, so you might be able to pull that down with the slide hammer. This one doesn't look too bad. I think it's just full under seal. Again, that side been pushed up with a jack. And it's had, you can see there, that panel there. There's a weld line underneath there. So it's had inner seals. It's hard to tell. It's just thick with under seal. Again, that side is gone. Pretty much the same both sides, which you'd expect. That's gone there. So I've put a strip across there. It looks like it's had a little patch on the inner arch there. At the moment, it doesn't look bad. It does not look bad. I just know we're going to find more. That's the problem. So I've been checking out for rust, really, more than anything, because that's the worst part of it. If this was rotten, you could be into months more work. Found a few little bits up here. It's blown out on the front cross member. So hopefully we can source a new panel for there, because that's going to be an awkward repair because there's about 3 layers to it. One of the weird things on this one, I've never seen this on any other car, it's handbrake. It's on the front caliper. That is really strange. I've never seen another car like that, ever. So that's an odd one. We're going to probably change the brakes out anyway, I'm guessing, to Impreza STI parts. As you know about that, we're going to pull those down. We've got repairs done to the inner sill, especially along the back. There's a lot of welding all across that seam there. We'll have to tidy that up, probably redo it, probably chop out what they've done, redo that, maybe inner and outer. Little repairs up there. A lot of it is surface rust, which I'm hoping once it's acid dipped, it gets to everywhere. It's just that if the acid dipping can't get into the seams, we have to cut the seams apart, repair, put little patches in and put it back. But the rest of it, luckily all this stone chip on it, although it doesn't look pretty, I think it's preserved a lot of it. There's surface rust on there, but it's all solid. And then the other bits, must be a ward trap because it's the same both sides. Got holes in the back there, so these panels are going to need to be remade. It's blown out across this seam there, so probably have to put new bottoms on there, redo that panel. But if that's all it is, it really isn't a bad car. But I know we're going to find more. It doesn't matter how good your car is. It's like this year anyway. Once you have an acid dip, you're always going to find more. So having had a good look around the car now, underneath and the outside of the car, it all looks pretty good. It really does. There's obvious rot on it. There was always going to be. We're going to find more once it gets stripped apart. The outside of the car looks pretty good. All the trims are there. None of them that I can see at the moment are cracked. The seals on a car like this, any restoration, generally you'd replace every seal on the car anyway. Door seals and window seals, unless they look literally brand new and they can clean up. But this has got tape over everything around the top of the car, so I'm guessing all those window seals will get replaced. You'd always do the sunroof seal as well, so as long as we can get them, we'll replace all of those. All the lights, none of them are cracked, so they should just polish up as well. So it looks like a really good car for restoration. It's been caught at the right time. I'm guessing it's been dry stored for quite a while as well. All that stone chip underneath, that's preserved it. So although some of it's gone rotten, it's always going to, it's an old car. So yeah, next thing to do, strip this thing down and see exactly what we've got to work with. got us all excited here. We've never seen one before. We love the quirkiness of it. It's good to do something different. That's what we love here. Every car we work on at the moment, every car in the shop is completely different. Keeps things exciting. Now, some of the modifications we're going to do to this, having spoken to the owner now, I'd never met him until 2 days ago. We're going for 450 brake horsepower, which is going to be more than enough. It only weighs about 1.2 tons anyway. Now, we're going probably hydraulic handbrake on the back because he wants to do some track days in it. We're having air suspension. I'm hoping we're going to put some BBS wheels in it because I think they'll look awesome. We're going to have switchable lights as well, so each light can flip up and down individually for a laugh. That's about it. We're going to keep the sunroof. I did think we might lose it at some point because of some rust up there, but we're gonna just basically just get it solid. It's easier. Let's keep the sunroof. Plus the car's going to go black. Black. Got a black interior, removable steering wheel, so that when we do the track days, we can put a proper steering wheel on there. It's going to have a roll cage with some low entry door bars. We're going to lose the back seat. Now I'm hoping that we're going to keep the full interior. I'm hoping we're going to keep the full interior because it's the finishing touch for me anyway. Get that fully trimmed out. Fuel cell. We might be putting a stainless steel fuel cell in the boot, but I think either way, I'm hoping it will go underneath. Stainless steel, because at some point it wants to run it on ethanol or methanol as well. So that's going to be really cool. So yeah, there's a lot going on with this. Twin scroll turbo, front mounted intercooler. It's going to be cool. So stay tuned.